All right, we are live once again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining from today. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. My weekend's starting off here. It's early afternoon on a Saturday for me, and I am excited to be with you. Of course, as usual, my name is Jeremy. I am with Made Management. I own and operate a talent management company, and we look for talent worldwide. And today we are talking all things entertainment. We are looking to solve all the world's problems, but we have 1 hour to do that. We are definitely going to dive into it, and by the end, if you stay with us to the very end, we will have all those problems solved. So I hope you guys are ready for that. Good to see everybody today. Give me a shout out in the chat as we are talking. Let me know where you're joining me from. Love to see that. And also any questions that you have. I have a special guest with me today. I'm excited about this one. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. But yeah, feel free to put in your questions as we are here live talking with our special guests, and we'll try to address as many of your questions as we possibly can. So without any further ado, let me see if my guest is here. There she is. Hello, we have the one and only
Hi.
Haydn Jones in the
How we
house
doing, lovelies?
Good to see you, Hayden.
Always
Thank you for
a
joining me
pleasure.
today. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've had a chance to chat, but today we want to get into solving all those world problems. So I hope you're ready for
Indeed.
that.
Indeed. That's absolutely what we do. Full brain surgery over here. 1000%. Absolutely. And go Rams. Congratulations on the season so far.
Yeah, I figured since you were my guest today, I would sport my Rams hat. Right? Hayden, do you mind introducing yourself to everyone here who may not know who you are, haven't had the opportunity to meet you yet?
Yeah,
Let
of
us
course.
know who you are and
Of
what you
course.
currently do.
Yeah, of course. Hi, everybody. Happy weekend. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our friends, domestic and or international. I'm Haydn Jones, owner and talent agent of Jones Collective. We're based in Los Angeles, but we represent talent of all ages and in all categories. That's commercial, VO, print, and TV film. And been working in this business for about 10 years now, going on 11, and been in Los Angeles around the same time. I'm a transplant myself. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. And to that end, the entertainment industry has been my career the whole time I've been here. So with the pleasures of and access of internships into discovering, agenting, then we found our career passion. And also I'm a fan first. So that's what makes this job so fun, of watching all of my favorite TV shows and films, then putting that into place with my talent and performers that then audition for said projects is the best time. So nice to meet all of you. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Jeremy.
Well, Veronica's joining us from Texas as well. So you have a fellow Texan here in the
Oh,
house with us
hello.
today.
Hello.
All right. Well, let's dive in to the world of entertainment, acting, modeling, all that good stuff. So you run and operate Jones Collective based in New York. Or, I'm sorry, in LA. And you have always done that, or have you worked with other companies as well?
I wish I could say I've owned the whole time. No, I have a whole big old resume of where I've trained in other spots, and that I've seen the variation of corporate boutique representation. I've previously worked at a company no longer, but Abrams Artist Agency, then known as A3 Artist Agency, and unfortunately now closed its doors post pandemic. And so I've learned all of what it looks like when you have multiple departments, multi-hyphenate talent, and they're represented in multiple departments. When we have multiple agents on the team, and bi-coastally as well, LA, New York, and we then developed in opened on the digital side in the UK, in London, and from there, what true 360 representation, as we call it, that we have all of your pieces represented, especially when you grow in this industry from traditional on-camera performance of commercials and TV and film and voiceover, all the way to what does it look like when you have a brand, when you are a full entertainment hub. So as we all know, per pandemic, that then social medias and brand partnerships and content creation thrived, but to others that folks start writing their own scripts, they start directing their own projects, they start writing their own books. They wish to engage in theater, or theater was their first love and they're jumping back to the stage or what have you. So also that trajectory of, say, Broadway and New York has changed from, rather than each set separate, you're either traditionally stage trained or traditionally on camera trained. The worlds have merged in that way as well. Folks either find that foundation in theater and then step into on camera, or on camera and the celebrity and A-lister are now seeing the theater. If you watched and or participated in the Tonys even this past year, that there's a revival of Sunset Boulevard, a very classic Broadway piece. Andrew Lloyd Webber and but Nicole Schlesinger from the Pussycat Dolls, of all musical groups, of all entities, comes to the stage. They'd been working on the show for the past 10 years, I believe. And she is the lead. She's wonderful. There was vocals I didn't know that she had grown into and had aged and seasoned herself into, and training so beautifully. Her Tony performance is incredible. I would very much suggest you check it out. Also, Audra McDonald, the legend, the GOAT, Audra McDonald, in her revival of Gypsy performance of Mama Rose and her Tony performance, and both of them were nominated for Best Female, Best Female actor in a Tony in a Broadway performance, and Nicole Schlesinger won, and which is wild to be for her to come from the music world, and then now we see this live stage performance of her career 20 years later, and just taking my breath away. Like it was incredible. But also Audra McDonald, the GOAT. I always have to shout her out. But yes, two, having talent that have a lily pad through different performing areas, and to be able to represent them in all of them. It's a feat, but that's why it takes a full team. And I've also worked at agencies where they're called boutique. So then smaller rosters, more eclectic of people, or choice of people for a roster, whether it's all ages, young performers and adults, or it's just adults, or it's just young performers under the age of 18. And to that end, you're very much making sure all of their needs are met in, say, your talent agent, but you're working in a managerial style. So I bring all these assets, I bring all these things that I've learned over the past decade into then my own company. Take the good bits, take the bad bits, and then also make sure that all of it's the positive bits to be that educator, that resource, that leader. So then in representation, because you are raising, say, creatives, young performers or younger performers, as they grow and grow older, that then everyone is a unique individual. You, when it comes to your audition appointments, when it comes to your goals as an artist and the artist you wish to develop to become. So I know I'm a rare one when it comes to developing talent. There are those of, say, agencies where I've come from. You are already a working talent or have credits, and you are a SAG actor and you have a talent manager, and that talent manager is referring you to us. So then you're ready for us to just be at the ready to click that button and negotiate that offer of a contract, versus, say, what I've done majority of my career of young performers and adult performers is develop you from your humble beginnings and your grassroots to then that pure beginning basis of auditioning and self-taping and gaining the credits of your career to hopefully the long-term relationship that we keep. So then we're seeing our red carpet moments too.
I love it. So you're seeing a lot of, obviously we're all seeing this, but a lot of actors who are transitioning to other areas, or people from other areas of entertainment transitioning into acting or Broadway or any of that stuff, which is pretty remarkable, like you mentioned. But it just goes to show that today, in today's entertainment world, uh, they're looking for anything and everything, but it's a small community,
Yes.
and it's easy to transition from, well, I want to say easy to transition, but it's once you're inside and have connections, you're able to transition from singing to Broadway, or Broadway to film, or vice versa.
Right, yeah, vice versa with the credit standing and the network standing for sure. A majority of those casting networks are also multi-hyphenate. So when they're working on multiple projects, it's then very lucrative for a talent that has been seen, say, in one space, and then they're casting another project, or especially for how the worlds are merging, and also how uh like how much the projects are shrinking, that then casting are working multiple versions or multiple categories of projects, that then you're seeing that casting director like in three different arenas, sort of thing.
Right. And the world's changing quite a bit in the entertainment industry, and I think for two reasons. You have social media, and then you have all the streaming platforms that have really caused or drive the change.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, the streaming wars, as Deadline.com and uh other industry trades have coined it. But yes, to those contracts, to those working actor on camera contracts, those have also changed tremendously, to where from commercials to voiceover to TV and film, and where, say, those advertisement dollars are being spent. But yes, the world and project is changing, especially because of streaming and new media, as well as social media. So all of then those talent contracts and agreements have changed over time as well, for the structure of pay or otherwise. Streaming, especially, we're seeing our film talent now come into television, right? We're
Right.
seeing our then celebrity now come into that big streaming moment, or seasons of 6 or 7 seasons of a show, or limited series, or its anthology sort of thing. And then that is what I would say shaking up the call sheet, and definitely project budget being redistributed more towards that celebrity talent, and then budget a little bit less left for the incoming talent of the incoming roles throughout that series. So it's definitely changed the game in that way, for sure.
Now, you were mentioning awards. You mentioned the Tony Awards, of course, and
Yeah.
you didn't mention when you introduced yourself that you're an award winner yourself.
Oh, I do need to get better at that. Thank you very much. Um, yes, I have been honored by the Talent Managers Association, who host the Hellers Awards, where talent agents are honored per their region and work category. And I have been honored by them in 2019, of, at the time, working with young performers only, that being Youth Commercial Agent of the Year.
Nice.
And
Congratulations on that.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With a second nomination in 2021. And but since that time, we work with all ages and all performers. But yes, at the time, it was very, very nice to be acknowledged and awarded by my colleagues, and noted by my talent managers that I am doing my job and doing it well. And it was nice to have some hardware to go with it. And yes, it's sitting back in my parents' house back in Dallas, of proof that the career is happening and going. as we all know in the arts and in the creative arts, it is an inconsistent business. So it was nice to bring that home to my family.
Nice. Well, that's a great honor to have, I'm sure. And you
Very much
working
so.
in the youth area,
Yeah.
what I like about youth is you have this fresh newness about everything, right? They're excited, they're younger. What are some of your, can you share some success stories? I know that you've helped launch some people into the world of
Yeah.
entertainment, but you worked a lot with like commercials to begin with a lot of
Mhm.
the talent. And what are some of your favorite moments that had happened with maybe somebody who is younger that you've seen?
Yeah. Um, oh, there's so many. Oh, yes. So we currently have a young performer who's if anyone has young ones in the home and you've had to enjoy Nickelodeon Back Guardians, we do have a young performer who's the voice of Uniqua, a little pink dinosaur
Nice.
um, for voiceover. And it's been wonderful to see her grow in a short time. And for young performers, that's how it goes. Like the timeline can be short, it can be long. It is it, the young performers like Play-Doh, especially for casting when they know they're working with young performers. It's like, well, we can go anywhere, and and we have imagination with anything that we could do. So when they're training and their improv clicks and all of the things and activities that they are part of, whether they're in band or they're in a sport or what have you, and all of that is also impactful when it comes to their acting as well. Learning to, of course, collaborate and be led, directed in our world, and be coached. That all of these aspects of their lives in their real lives come into their acting to make them a wonderful performer, very well-rounded performer, and so I'm very, very proud of this young performer, of her successes when it comes to voiceover, and many more to come. Um, so hopefully stay tuned for more announcements when we can announce them. And but other moments, um, I've had the privilege and pleasure of being on Dev Cameron's team and watching her grow through the Descendants franchise and into the singer and actor that she is now. And the projects she's got going on have been incredible. To know her in her um, late teens, early 20s, and to see that trajectory of where else she can grow her brand and everything has been incredible. We also have represented Javon Walton. He was our young drug dealer, our young ashtray on Euphoria, HBO's Euphoria, and and very much what a very adult content show for a young performer at the age of
Right.
12, 13 to be on, and to do it well and do all that was asked of him when it comes to that performance. And now he is a professional boxer. It's wild to see them grow, and when they, especially when they grow into adulthood or being 18 and up, that of when school, college, university, and or profession is or professional choices are in front of you, where they go. Um, we've also worked with um, Mr. Ryan. He is Booker from Raven's Home on Disney Channel, and to see him from a young performer and now he's a full young man is wild. And his growth spurt in the middle of the show was wild for the script writers to work around and everything. But when you're practically growing up on set and that show having multiple seasons and you're there through your childhood, through your adolescence, you gotta work around the growth spurts too.
Right.
So, so yes, many, many moments with young performers, and it is interesting for that they are working actors and have their professional job as a young person, and they're seeing the world through a whole different lens of having working on set 5 days a week for multiple years or what have you. Of course, there are breaks of hiatus and have summers off when the show is not in session or the film has wrapped. But to see that trajectory. Oh, and also actually, also Chloe Coleman. I have to bring her up that she is an incredible star, incredible young star. Um, and to watch her be in films and shows with these very well-known actors of their projects, and to be what feels like when you're watching her performance leading them um in her young person performance is insane. She's incredibly talented. Please like keep an eye on her and that trajectory. She's a full star. And but yeah, to moments like that are success stories, to then be able to team build with my TV and film theatrical agents along with voiceover agents, and then myself and say commercials, and we're that full team on behalf working on behalf of a talent is a sight to see for sure.
Nice. It's got to be very self-satisfying to see them in their career take off and know
It
that you guys
is absolutely. Yes, even building from your humble beginnings, even building from your grassroots, and when you're still developing and you're new, like seeing that moment click for talent and creatives when either they've discovered that moment and acting choice in their self tape that casting really dug into, or they finally get their callback, or they finally get their booking after auditioning for however long. And everyone's on their own journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So it is absolutely very much self satisfying when in representation that the creatives that we love, the on camera performers that we love, stage performers, all of those dancers, vocalists, singers, all of them, when they not not peak and not plateau, but the moment that I can do this, it clicks for them. It's like, I can do this. I chose this, and this is what in my hearts of hearts, and I'm a performer. And but they also believe it too.
right. You
This is a very
believe
tough
it and
industry. Very tough industry.
yeah. What are some of the ways that you find new talent personally?
Yeah. Um Well, being in Los Angeles, being in the hub of it all, the acting school, a lot of acting schools are here, have their own brick and mortar places. So then we are able to discover and scout talent that way. They have their acting sessions for months to a year, what have you, and then we are invited in to they say their final showcase or their final performance for potential representation. The university and colleges here in Los Angeles and across the US with performing arts majors and programs, that then we are invited in to say their final work or finals performance as well for potential representation. And among other moments that post pandemic, Zoom capabilities such as this have occurred. So we've been able to discover talent outside the Los Angeles area as well, across the US and the world.
Nice. So showcases are a big part of what you do, going to these various events to find new talent. If
Absolutely. It's a
if
great networking tool on both ends.
right, and if a performer is getting ready, let's say today they're performing for you at a showcase,
Yes,
what piece of advice would you give them before they get up to perform?
for sure. Make sure you're off book, make sure you're memorized. Um, if if the showcase is made up like a real audition, make sure you're ready for a redirect, or a second take, if you will, version of your performance. Um, and then also make sure, I'm trying to remember what I was like, what I've seen in like some maybe some mistakes, like errors people have made. I was like, oh, you didn't need to do that. Um, oh, be be wary of space when you are performing. Not all stages are alike, and what have you. And you'll always need to remind yourself, like, yes, you're auditioning for potentially on camera reps, but you need to project as if you're on the stage, project to the back. There's a lot of missed cues or um, missed performances when we can barely say hear you. So make sure you're always projecting and bringing that energy when it comes top of your slate to all the way through your performance. Remember, every performance has a beginning, middle, and end, whether you're performing it live or you're self-taping it. So you're creating a world that you are inviting us to. We may not know your script. We may not have no. Yeah, we definitely don't know your script prior to your performance. So you make your choices as strong as you see fit. The interpretation and character breakdown you have. You are projecting from that written page or copy or commercial copy, whatever it is. But bring it all and risk it all, because there are also missed cues and missed moments of performers at showcases and scouting events when you are thinking that you're making the proper choice or the dramatic choice when we want to see your full performance and people hold back. Don't hold back.
So, what are some of the it factors that you're looking for? If you see somebody perform and
Mm,
you think to yourself, "Wow, they have it." How
got
do
it.
you tell somebody what creates that or what causes that it factor
Yeah.
in your mind?
Yeah. Yeah, those who don't hold back, those who take big old risks when it comes to their performance. It is again, everyone's at their own development stage of being able to showcase their full authentic self and their vulnerability. But seeing that potential, even though from your beginnings of acting, is top of that slate. Slate, that intro is very much what grabs me. To your personality, let it shine through. I gravitate towards, again, that confidence, those who can say play to the back, even though you will learn and or be directed to, say, an on camera, more tight knit microphone boom mic space or set. Um, and but also those who hone in their piece and know their range. When you know what you're capable of, world's your oyster. When you're still discovering that and training, I mean, training always, you're always training your craft, sharpening your skills at all times. But when it comes to all of this, what I gravitate towards are those folks who fully present themselves. They're not shrinking away of, say, that's what their interpretation of the rule, not, and I'm sorry, not interpretation of the rule, they're shrinking away from their performance. And there are those moments, like it's very complex to have dueling emotions and also making sure the audience is intaking that and coming on the journey with you and being vulnerable and letting that curtain down and everything like that. It is that's why we have the rare moments of our stars in Hollywood and in and on the stage in those moments, because they've reached that they know they reached that moment, they've reached that vulnerability, what have you. So what I gravitate towards is those who are willing to go there, willing to take that risk, and like I said, top of your slate all the way through the performance, seeing that confidence, seeing that authenticity, seeing that willingness, power of will, seeing that willingness to give and give it all. That's what I gravitate towards.
And you mentioned with any script, there's a beginning, middle, and end.
Yes,
And can you explain that to somebody who's maybe hearing this for the first time on what that interpretation means to you?
for sure. I think I'm trying to remember. I think it was I read an article interview of Viola Davis, and the Queen. Well, one of our queens, of
Okay.
course. Um, and she was expressing how she breaks down her scripts, and also, when she receives it, or of course her TV big TV moment, as majority of us know her, of How to Get Away with Murder, and the Shonda Rhimes writing style, and everything. But when she first got the script, to learn her character and everything, the story has a beginning, middle, end. The writers are not only creating a world and of what they wish to be interpreted and performed, and maybe it's based on their life experiences, or a fantastical moment of a world that they would wish to see, or how they wish to see the world, as in reality. But she was describing that, uh, while you are taking note of what someone else is writing and creating, what are the functions of this character? Before, say, these words were written on a page, that, character had a life before you got to that scene, before you got to that moment, whether it's a monologue or television script or a film script. Before you got there, what was that character doing? They're beginning, right? Um, and so it's not just how the scene goes or how the monologue finishes, but it's the whole bit. What were they doing before that moment? What were they doing after that moment? So you're so you are invoking not only the world that this character is in, or living, or circumstances, but then as you roll through the emotion of the script as well, remind yourself that there's a whole life here before, after they're written on this page, right? And sometimes in auditions, you only get a snippet of that. You only get a slice of capacity of this human condition, or animal, whichever voiceover character you are, animated or what have you, dinosaur, whatever you want to take. But you get a sliver sometimes, especially in audition. You don't get the full script sometimes. You don't get to know the full story, or how the writers wrote the story. But sometimes you just only get a slice. And then how do you perform that fully, to then for casting to gravitate towards you to book the job? Create the beginning, middle, and end. What was that character doing before they got to that moment? What are they doing during that moment? Those are your acting choices as well when you're reading and completing the scene. And then the beat that you're giving yourself in the end, after interpreting that scene, and that moment, or conversation, or fight, or emotion, or intimacy, whatever, or relationship, to a child, or whatever that scene is. The beginning, middle, and end. That character has a whole world before you read it, and after you read it too. And even when you just get, say, that short copy, or that short scene to perform or audition with, for, say, that co-star role, or even that guest star role, and you're not privy to that script or what have you, um, that's where those character breakdown skills really come in handy, and that's why we have the Viola Davises of this world.
Because they're obviously very good at what they do.
She is. She very much is. If you haven't watched it already, Woman King. Like, Woman King is a fantastic film, um, and some of her best work. And I mean, she's brilliant. She's brilliant at everything that she does. Yeah, and yes, she is blessed to have studied at Juilliard, one of the most prestigious of performer universities, on the East Coast. But also, to that end, she's had to discover, for herself, her her role, in the studio system, the TV and film system as well, and as well as being a Black woman in this industry. And But to those notes, she's wonderful at what she does, and she knows at her core that she's a performer, and she knows that she's an actor. And if you watch her interviews, she's had moments of doubt as well, and has shared that. There have been professors and or coaches that didn't understand, say, her performance, and then there were teachers and coaches who did. So then also the plethora of training and performing coaches out there, all of them, just like any other activity or sports, everyone has a different perspective and a different style of how they share their wisdom. So make sure that you're always asking questions and using all your resources available to you for those different perspectives, as well, to then grow yourself as a performer, to very much a well-rounded performer that you should be.
So going back to, obviously, so the great Viola has had doubts in her lifetime, in her career, and that's what I try to tell everybody that I work with, is that everybody that you admire on film or TV or even on the runways, they've heard no's just as much as anybody else.
Yes.
You know them today as the great performers that they are, but they've gone through the same journey that everybody else has gone through.
Yes.
And hearing those no's and moments of disappointment, maybe
Yes.
self-doubt,
So,
but,
yeah.
but yet they overcame all of that. And
We,
now,
as representatives, hear those no's on your behalf all the time as well. And that's why this is a journey indeed.
if somebody's out there, let's say they're early 20s, just trying to start off and they feel stuck, what do you recommend that they should do to maybe help get the ball rolling
For
and,
sure.
and get
Yeah.
their career going?
I even have performers on my roster currently feeling stuck. The opportunities of auditions are coming their way, but they just not a fit for the role, or casting, selecting somebody else. So to getting unstuck, well, one of my performers, they moved. They moved homes, they moved apartments, and so a fresh space, Maria condoing their life really helped. And now they have their new self-tape space. They're on a whole new level. They're very happy and refreshing that moment of their life and humanity. So then now, with their auditions, there's a health and wealth, a positivity towards them, and energy. Not everyone should move. Don't, like, if you can't move, don't do that. But one of my performers in real time was like, they moved, they were very excited, and that, when you have a brand new space and you can do with what you wish with it, like, that is very much energizing. To when you're feeling stuck, because especially now post pandemic, a lot of projects are still self taping, not a lot in person. So then you can't interact with that casting director, and you don't know who you're auditioning for and things like that. How do you get your personality out there on your tape and or Zoom? Um, if this is what you love in your core, if this is what you love, then that's what gets you unstuck. Give yourself grace. Remind yourself to have that patience. But there are still plenty of things in this industry outside of being on set, or outside being in a show on stage and for 5 nights, 6 nights a week, or touring said show. There are things outside that. I think people are re-energized by networking opportunities. People are re-energizing by going to performances and seeing other performances at work. Other performers at work. Engaging with your fellow audience member, with that performance, or you go with your community of artists together, what have you. People are re-energized by taking a break. Sometimes you just need a break. Yes, either buy that plane ticket or the traditional spa or what have you, or be at home doing nothing, right? Sometimes you just need that break. And us representatives, we understand that more than anyone else. So then that's why your book outs are very important, and you being honest and having candor with us and understanding is like, you know what, I just need a week off. I just need a weekend. If you're receiving auditions and you need to rest and reset yourself, that is okay. Um, Other folks find their re-energization, not a word, but I'm coining it today. Don't forget to get outside. Take that walk your pet if you have one. Walks are great. If you don't want a full cardio at the gym or what have you, or a home workout or whatever, walks outside. They're wonderful. Clear that head, clear the cobwebs. But for sure, I've seen folks going to, like I said, performances and taking themselves out of being the performer and just watching other performers and enjoying yourself and reminding yourself of this being your first love, performance being your core love. And um, hopefully finding the supporters and village in your life that make this all worth it. Make this lifestyle all worth it. It's like lean on them. Use your village, use your support system. And even if they're also not creatives or artists and you feel they might not understand, give it a try. Don't underestimate the people in your life. They can with what they can bring to the table, and then people can surprise you, family or strangers alike. So, when we're all living among each other in kind and in kindness, like you could find that support system or village anywhere.
I love that you said too, you mentioned a lot of great points, but the networking part of it is, I think, very important for other
Mhm,
performers, especially if somebody's living in a maybe smaller community somewhere
mhm.
and they don't really have a lot of people around them who are into the same thing that they're into.
Yes.
And but there are groups everywhere.
There are
There.
groups everywhere, and we are all interconnected through telecommunications and through social medias and what have you. And there are groups and webinars and moments everywhere. So rather than, of course, the Google rabbit hole of things, but there are artist communities anywhere, and we are all interconnected through social media for sure. So there are those always trying to reach out and reach one and teach one and grow a community themselves in a positive manner. That then a performer, say, in that smaller neck of the woods that you're saying, or smaller market, um, can find their community. Yeah,
Absolutely. In today's technology and world that we live in.
indeed, indeed.
Now, I want to shift gears a little bit. I want
Okay.
to pick your brain, get your opinion on some of the current events that have taken place this week with casting networks. It's a big
Sure. Yeah.
it's a big topic among reps.
Yes. Absolutely.
And people who are watching maybe aren't even aware of what's taking place. But do you mind giving me a little bit of your opinion on the event that took place with in Casting Network this week?
Yes. So yes, casting networks is one of our main industry sites for agents and managers to be able to submit our talent to casting for audition opportunities. It is basically a software piece, or how your headshot and resume become your own web page, and then you are connected to your representative's roster to be able to submit it to submit for roles that you fit. Casting Networks fills this need for us industry representatives on the commercial short film, vertical short series, and music video, and various others projects wise. So we're seeing a vast multitude of thousands upon thousands of casting director projects in all regions across the US and internationally, um, for the support of our talent being able to receive audition appointments. So to that end, they've grown in their time. In my decade in the industry, they were around before I even got here, but they've grown in that time, and to grow into the corporate entity of Talent Systems. So that then is the umbrella corporation for Casting Networks, Casting Frontier, and Cast It Talent, and as well as Spotlight. So for our international friends, that would be your main non-US hub of Spotlight UK. So to this umbrella notion, they've grown, and I to my knowledge, to my informations, grown to the capacity of now, even this has been a free service for agents and managers. Now it will be a paid service of software. Actors and performers have already been paying for the subscription service because you're capable of having your subscription page, your acting page with Casting Networks, whether you are repped by an agent or manager, or if you're not repped. So there's always a subscription price on the creator talent side involved in that aspect over these decades. But now to the service that was free to representatives is no longer. So and to that end, there's the price points were not of market value. So many of my colleagues and myself and SAG organization and the Association of Talent Agents and Talent Managers Association organizations, we were it was implemented very quickly, very swiftly, without notification. So that has been the upper conversation of we worked with as a community for so many years. Where's a conversation in making this palatable for all parties for these now payment needs and subscription needs for the representation side. So so to that end, we are our communities are and organizations are conversing and trying to come with to a reasonable collective agreement with Casting Networks, and then themselves the corporate entity of understanding that we are a community, and to implement new policies. We would appreciate discussion, especially for that that they are providing a service that generates revenue for all ends, performers and representation, and price points need to be of market equality when it comes to that. So a big to do, a big boom of this week of implementing policy without discussion or what have you. And so, but now communities are coming together and giving Casting Networks the understanding of we absolutely want to make sure that the artist community and the representative community keeps on thriving. And to that end, of your service needs and your service providings, where can we come to a mutual agreement when it comes to that? But yeah, that was the big boom this week for sure.
Well, what happened, to kind of explain it lightly, was everybody's using this platform. They're one of many platforms that are out
Mhm.
there that are being
Yes.
used, but this being, one of the large ones, and
Mhm.
people are using it. They've sent an email to everybody basically giving 48 hours in the original
Yes, a
agreement.
very swift blanketed email of here now you owe. No,
Right.
now
And
you owe subscription fee.
and the fees weren't small. They were very hefty.
They're not of market value. No, they were not.
Right. And so here it was, you have 48 hours to continue to participate on our platform as a representative.
Mm.
And these are your fees. We are sending you a bill, is basically kind of the
Yeah.
approach.
Yes.
And
I was like, what I'm sorry, what light bill is this that I'm unaware of?
right.
Indeed. Yeah.
And out of the blue, for anybody, just to start receiving a random, you know, large bill, for a service that you're using doesn't make anybody
And it wasn't spam.
happy.
I was like, wait a minute, were they hacked? Like, is this real?
So
Um,
there was this big uproar for a few days because now I think there was a boycott petition that went out, and
yes,
a lot of the agents and managers, signed that and said, "Hey, if you guys are going to treat us this way, we're no longer going to use your platform. You're not the only person in this space, right?" And we've seen some of their competitors
yes,
kind of pick up on this and say, "Ooh, if they're going to do this and everybody's going to leave, what can we do better?" And really kind of
yes,
ramp up their efforts in kind of driving the market towards their competitors even.
yes, very much so, very much
So
so.
it's since has been kind of taken down a notch or two, the urgency, and they claim that they kind of overstepped when they sent that out and didn't really mean 48 hours. They're now meaning at the beginning of the year.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it was definitely a knee jerk reaction of like, what are what to get a blanketed email for an exorbitant fee was yeah, definitely something
Right.
that surprised us all. It's like,
Definitely
you
made
talk
an
to
interesting
any
week
of
for
our
everyone.
like, did you talk to any of our leadership, any of our parties? Like, did you talk to us owners about using services? Was it even a conversation?
Right. Well, our time is wrapped up, getting close to the end. Any big plans this weekend that you have?
Closing time. Um, yeah, I'm glad we ended on the casting networks thing. I was curious if you're gonna ask me about it. Plans this weekend. It's a sunny day, another sunny day in California. Another
Yep.
sunny day in Los Angeles. There is a wonderful, beautiful community event called Taste of Soul in the traditional Crenshaw, Inglewood, Lamart Park areas.
Nice.
They're celebrating their 20th anniversary and of these beautiful Black neighborhoods, Black-owned neighborhoods, and it is full food vendor event throughout the full today with performers, and they're honoring the Whistlers and music performances galore, as well as community vendors and health and wellness vendors, and it's gonna be
That
fun.
sounds nice. Yeah,
It's gonna
that's
be fun to go. So
I'm a huge
looking at that for my afternoon.
I'm a huge foodie, so I'm already I wish I
Oh,
was there.
you're gonna be so jealous when I start putting this in my stories. Yeah, 1000%. But very, very excited to community up today and everything for sure.
Nice. Well, we appreciate your time with us. Before you leave,
Yes.
one last thing. If somebody was interested in working with you, what's the best way to approach that? How should they reach out, or what should they do?
Yes. So both forms of contact, say you're either in my Instagram or Jones Collective agency.com. Also, my email is an IMDb, I believe. But to be able to uh, put in a submission for potential representation, I always definitely look at every email, every submission email for sure, and always make sure that you are sending me the proper links to your casting site and your acting materials. Definitely Dropbox links are preferred. Every Apple system or computer system is all the same. So very much so, yes. So all the submission forms are, say, either in the Jones Collective Instagram or website, and or my emails at IMDb. And you're able to email your headshots, your resume, PDFs, of course, as well as your web links to your website, your casting sites. So then we can review your materials in full for sure. And we represent all ages in all categories.
And I always like to put a note in there for people to make sure that they put in a well composed email, but mention something maybe we talked about here that will perk your eyes on there.
Yes, please. Yes, please. We meet a lot of people in a lot of functions a lot of the time. So yes, please make sure the subject of your email can be in reference to where we have met or conversed or what have you. events in this way, so then I can jog that memory. Oh, thank you for listening in.
And I know the perfect subject headline for anybody out there. I'm going to give this tip right now.
If you
If
do not, I know what subject of evil you're talking. Do not listen to this man and flood my inbox with the next piece of advice he thinks he's giving me.
no,
You will be signed. I
no,
will.
this is a good one. No, this is for real. This is serious. So if somebody's reaching out to you, their subject line should say, "Hey Hayden, love the Cowboys. Would really love you to review my resume."
Okay, that's fair. That's then yes. You then are playing to my biases. You're then playing to my heartstrings. Sure.
But make sure if if your headshot has a Green Bay Packers shirt on it, make sure you edit that off.
I will say this to the performers or parents of performers that have ever asked me. It's like it does not impede my work, and you will receive the you will receive all your auditions as given from casting to that end. But you know but everyone knows where I'm at on a Sunday. But
Well,
hey,
hey,
go Rams! Like Stafford's doing it, you know. So we in LA, we support our LA teams as well. But yeah, those are my Texan in here. Hello, hello. Houston areas, sure. Then go Rangers, go Astros, and go Texans, go Cowboys. All of that good stuff. Jeremy, always a pleasure to hang with you.
yeah, thank you for spending a time on your busy weekend. I hope it's a great, wonderful weekend, and go Cowboys this weekend.
Yeah, go Cowboys. Fingers crossed. Another sunny day in California as well. A pleasure. Thank you for having me. To all the guests out there, a pleasure to be here as well. And like I said, Jones Collective in the Instagram, give a follow, and always here to be a resource, questions, and or your potential next rep.
Well, thank you guys. Good seeing everyone. Happy weekend, everybody, and we will see you on the next session.